Lisa's tears were drying, her eyes glazing over. She started grunting and lifted her legs a little higher to make room for what was about to happen. He tried to turn his head, but found it being held in place by the Judy. He felt the Judy's fingers above his eyelids, ready to pry them open if he shut them. He was being forced to watch Lisa poop herself. "It's okay, Dante," Green Dress said. "Lisa doesn't mind if you watch." "Do you, sweetie?" She tickled under Lisa's chin as the girl finished her BABA. Lisa giggled a little and blew a raspberry, but something in her eyes reeked of desperation. Babies don't care who's watching them when they poopy in their diapers, 'cause they don't know any better. Good thing you're not a big girl, though, because this would be so embarrassing if you were. The Judy's speech swayed in a sing-song manner, like a cobra about to strike. Lisa stopped babbling and gasped. She hadn't actually realized she was shitting herself. Lisa's diaper puffed out and rude noises came from her backside as the mess pushed itself out. "It's a shame she finished her BABA so fast," the other Judy said. "It's so cute when they're pooping and drinking from their BABAs at the same time." Lisa's legs came down and she started bawling again. The girl who had preached remaining calm had no control over her emotions as present. The Judy in the scrubs released Dante and picked the crying girl up. One hand supporting Lisa's messy bottom, the other patting her back. Lisa burped loudly. "Good baby," the Judy praised. "Just a couple more burps, and we'll go change you." "I bet this brings back memories," the Judy said as she hiked up Lisa's poodle skirt. Dante didn't have to guess what that meant. These things weren't angels. They were monsters. All along these things had known they weren't dealing with children, and yet stubbornly refused to act otherwise. Now that Dante had accidentally pushed the envelope, they were doing nothing short of conditioning and brainwashing everyone. Dante needed to act, to do something instead of just sit there. He opened his mouth so he could sing and start thinking straight, but a glance from the Judy in the green dress made him stop. Instead he popped a thumb in his mouth and began sucking on it. Admittedly, it felt pretty good, but it wasn't what he had intended to do. Green Dress smirked when Dante started sucking. Dante felt like he had been caught reaching into the cookie jar. Cookies were yummy. He hoped Mama Judy would give him one last stop it. Dante kept shaking his head, trying to snap himself out of it and failing miserably. He felt the Green Dress Judy's hands grab him and lift him up by the armpits. He giggled unintentionally as she shifted him onto her hip. "Baby swap," she announced. "I'll take the boys, and you take the girls." "That'll work," the Judy in the nursery scrubs called back, still changing Lisa. "You want some earplugs?" "That won't be necessary," the other angel replied. The saint made it clear ahead of time that Lil Dante here wouldn't be allowed back in the nursery unless he promised not to sing like a naughty boy again. "Isn't that right, baby?" She turned her head. Dante gave a frightened nod, slightly sobered by fear. "How long?" the first Judy asked as she finished taping up Lisa's disposable. "Ooh, I dunno. I think a week will be about enough," the other angel answered, bouncing Dante slightly on her hip. "Suit yourself," the familiar Judy said, pulling down Lisa's poodle skirt, her chore now finished. She picked Lisa up and grabbed her by the wrist. "Boo-bye, Dante," she made Lisa wave. "Boo-bye." "Okie dokie." Dante's present tormentor beamed. "Be right back, Judy," she called out as she turned around, re-entering the rat's maze that was the nursery when all the cubicle walls were set up and sectioned off. "We are gonna have so much fun, Dante," the Judy said. "I'm going to teach you how to be a good baby, just like how I taught my kids." Half a minute later, Dante was in another play area, very similar to the one he just left. There was a playpen, a changing table, a trash can, and a rocking chair. The walls had an alphabet border running along the top. Instead of Lisa or even Midori though, were three fairly familiar faces in the pen. The Judy in the green dress's three wards, the one that Dante had witnessed breaking down day by day at mealtimes. The boys were dressed in matching red rompers. The girl in a yellow sun dress. They smiled up at their captor, eyes blank and curious. Babbling greeted Dante's ears. Having appeared out of thin air in just a diaper, Dante expected to be toted over to a changing table at some point and dressed. Instead, he was taken into the playpen and sat down. Without another word, the Judy went and picked up the girl in the yellow sundress. Adam, Andy, the angel nanny said to the boys, "You play nice with Dante while I go drop Amy off." Dante whined from his position in the playpen, his thumb still in his mouth. The Judy looked down at him, and Dante used his free hand to gesture to himself, indicating his naked state. "Oh, don't be a silly baby," she wagged her finger at Dante. "You've got your diaper on. That's enough for now." Before Dante had a chance to pull his thumb out of his mouth and reply, the Judy walked out of the playpen, shut the gate, and left with the girl in tow. Baby swap. Now he got it. They were sequestering him away from Lysa, his last anchor. They were trying to break him, break Lysa, break them all. No more survivors, no more residents with their mental faculties intact. This nursery in limbo would be a complete and total mental wasteland once the Judys got their way.